I was born in the south of Italy, in Molfetta city. I've been carving stone since I was 9 years old, and in a traditional way, by hand. My family has been in the stone business for about 5 generations. I remember my grandfather when I was a kid, and we have to learn too, So, and my grandfather, I remember like it was yesterday. A few times he came to me, and he was watching what I'm doing, and he teasing me. He says, "What's the matter?" He say, "You are the son of the master, and you do the work worse than the other guy, than the other little kids." So I was mad in a way of that. So I was trying to do to improve myself. And then my grandfather, he went to the other guy. He says, and he told the same thing. He said, "What's the matter? Can't you do better than the son of the master?" And there was some kind of competition who doing better work. That's the way we in our life we find out to be a good carver. There used to be many carvers all over the United States, but now is very, very few left. Not many apprentices, they learn this trade anymore because they can't find their work after they learn. I'm one of the last traditional stone carvers left. This is what we call a pointing machine, and this is the instrument we work, which we take all the measure from the model to the stone. So after we fix this. Okay, now you see that's the way it works. Now you see this space over here between this base and these things. So that told me that much stone I have to take off from this spot over here to reach exactly that point over there. So what I'm doing is, since this is the beginning, I got it roughing out, and we use different tools, depend what we have to do and how much you gotta cut. The first thing, what I gotta do, I gotta use pitching tool. Pitching tool is tell you from the words pitching, take a big chunk out of the stone. So I hope I don't cut too much. All right. See, the process is, the sculptor is with the clay he had to create, so he put the clay on, and the form getting big. What we do, we have a big piece of stone, and we got it off, we got it shrinking. We got reverse what the sculptor does. So the example, this arm is in here, in this. So what I gotta do, I gotta take off the stone, I don't need it, and I gotta left what is just exactly that shape of that figure over there. What happened while we was work, one of the guys started to sing. While he's singing, and all the rest, they started singing too. And what happened, we work by the tune of the music, of the singing. So we beating the busham on a stone, and to make some kind of music. It was according to the single we're doing, you know, 7, 8 guys singing, you know, everybody was working. We will make more production, you know. I've been working at the cathedrals for 20 years, since when I came from Italy in 1961. Practically, I spent half of my life in the cathedral. The cathedral is a part of me. This is my world, anyway, this building. We used to be about 12 or 13 carvers around here, you know. I used to be just like a family, you know, like my father, Morigi, Ratti, Bresciani, Guarente, Del Negro, Saferlis, Zick. We working and we laugh, we joking, you know, we say some jokes and things like that. It was more, practically, it was not a work what we was doing, you know, it was just live, everyday living, you know.
That's it, baby. Got it. That's it. Here's to a happy reunion.
The old Carvers.
The old Carver. I hope we live long enough to have another dozen. The old and the old.
Very good.
Yeah.
Salute.
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 Yes.
Italiano. Salute. Hey, sure. What are you doing?
Off the book.
This is a new generation. Anyway, I like to think in my
But that mom feels so because yeah.
A little bottle in his pocket. What happened, Vince? What happened? I said, damn, a beezy's come over my throat. Do you remember? Yeah.
Mine was got I started when I was 11 years old.
Right. We got two generations right here.
I started when I was 11 years old, and I used to go up, my own town, his name is Bezuski, and I used to go up a mile and a half to walk up the mountain, and up there, used to have a quarry. And there must have been 25 or 30 shops, and everybody had about 3 or 4, 5, 6 apprentices. So I never forget one time, I got to be pretty good. And I'm carving this lily. All of a sudden I heard bloom. I said, So I look in the needle like that, and the lily I bust the lily. I broke the lily off. And all of a sudden comes the bus. And this guy here, they could have hit him from here to 14th and F with no effort. When he talked, when he raised hell. And in back of the shop was a place with all these old people, old carver, old stone carver. They used to go and play bocce, you know, the game Italian bocce. And whenever they used to hear him give us hell, they all would lean on the wall and watch. So here he started. I got the lily like this in my hand, like this. So he takes the lily off my hands like that, and he stuck it underneath of my nose. And he says, smell it! Smell it, you dummy! There all these men and laughing like the devil. I felt like this. He took a hammer and a tool, and he started, knock everything off. And he just left the cartouche there and just a little piece of the branch, you know, like that. And he said, now take this, the lily, and bring it home and put it on top of the dresser. And every morning you get up, smell it good, you jackass. And you walk away. I didn't knock anything down no more. No more. No more.
while you work, you learn how to recognize the different kind of stones or the marbles. So you learn how to recognize the veins, learn how to recognize from the sound of the stone if the stone or marble is solid or have some crack, you know, it has to be sound like a bell. From the sound you see if the stone, what you're doing, it can come up good work or not.
But the main thing in carving, you steel carving. But when I say steel, you see like in the shop there where there's 7 or 8 apprentice boys. One would be a little better than the other. So, and they had 2 or 3 carvers working at the same time. So you watch one, you watch the other, you steal a little bit from one, you steal a little bit from it, then you put it all together yourself. You develop your own technique. That's right. You see, because anybody can teach as much as you can. But if you don't grasp it, you gotta steal it. You know, you go and say, I'm gonna do it. You see, have the tremendous ambition to do it. Then you become a good carver.
In the end, I don't think there's any one carver that does the same as another carver. Right. They're all different. They all have a different style completely.
Right. Like
completely different.
Carving the grotesque for the Rockefeller Church and Riverside Drive. You know, them grotesques that went up on top of the door there all the way up. And for some reason or another, you know, the way he was touching it, you know, his, you know, they come on like that, you know, wild, you know, full of life. And mine, that was all right, but they didn't have the life, you know. I couldn't understand. He said, oh, no, hell he does it, you know. And then, Scafaro. Scafaro.
The one with chew in the back on.
Yeah, one of the great carvers, you know. And he used to come to work with 8 or 10 tools. If you took one tool, he had to go home because he couldn't work them. So I watch him. And I see the tools he used to give certain touch. And he went to the bathroom, and I went over and got the tools there. And I went over and touched mine like that, and it was it, you know. And it was all broke up tools, you know. I wouldn't use it, you know. I wouldn't use it to work, but there was the right tools for the certain thing. So when he come back, he's looking all over. He's looking all over. And I forgot about that. I took his tools. So when I saw him looking all over, I said, oh, God, Roger. He said, you took his tools, now he's looking for you. So I went back like that, and I presented to him. He said, Mr. Scafaro, because at that time, older carver, you call him Mr. He said, Mr. Scafaro, he says, that's what you're looking for. And he could speak English perfect. You never thought he was Italian. You thought that he went to Oxford to learn how to speak English. That's so perfect he used to speak. And he said, yes, you know. And I said, and I explained why I took it. And he said, it makes my heart feel so good. And I said, why? I took your tools, you know. He said, no, because you're so interested to make good work. He said, today very few feel that way. He said, to me, it makes me feel good. You know? That's it.
To give the life, it is the expression, you know, some little small movement or some little touch with the chisel sometimes or with the files, which give it the right expression as the sculptors did, you know. So even if it's a stone, you know, our ability is to make it look like a life.
When you come down to it, if we know anything about the past, you have to dance carving.
After all, even God gave us the 10 law on the stone. He carved the 10 commandments on the stone. So this is the most oldest trade in the world.
The oldest craft of thing is prostitution. and then came carving. Carving is one of the great crafts that we should remember. But after a while, you know, if nobody pay no attention, it disappear. And what do you got? Nothing. It's going to be like the pigeon, the carrion pigeon, the same way.
Carving is been same for centuries. Just like Michelangelo cut by hand with a hammer and chisels.
When I came to this country in 1927, all the building industry was going full blast. Oh my God, there was Radio City Music Hall, Bronx Courthouse, Rockefeller Church. And there was a tremendous amount of work, you know.
But carving today is not like it used to be, you know. Used to put up buildings any place, not only buildings, public buildings, but apartment houses would have carving on it. Today, you go to New York City or any city, and you see a building go up, the only carving you're going to see is not even a carving. Maybe it's a cornerstone. Maybe it's a cornerstone with a year on it. That's about all, you know.
Everything is so flat, so plain, and you know, we lost sense of quality. Sense of quality.
Sense of beauty, too.
Just take a walk sometime if you here in Washington, and walk down Pennsylvania Avenue and look at some of the buildings that were built 30, 40 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. Archives building. Take a look at it sometime. The United States Supreme Court, the Capitol, the what's the other one? The Commerce Building, the Post Office
Department,
yeah, all those buildings.
All the millionaires.
And take a look at those buildings, and then look at the buildings they're building today.
And take a look at the new building, the new FBI building they built.
You see, when you go by them building there, if you know anything about architecture, if you know anything about strength, it feels like they say, look at me, I'm here to stay. You know, it's impressive. You know, there's strength into it. You know, they look at you and I say, look at me, you know. And you go by the city, that's the way you feel about it. It's like a tissue paper. There's there, just hanging over there. You feel like somebody's going to open the finger and the whole thing's going to collapse. That's the way I feel about it.
We got to say thanks, at least for the group over here in this cathedral. We got to say thanks to God that we are lucky this building is going on. Otherwise, we might be a laborer, or carpenter, or shoemaker, or caterer. The sculptor with the clay have the option to take off and put it back. The carver got only one chance. It has to be the right one. If he take more than it's supposed to, it's a ruin. We're doing the finished product, and our handwork is going to stay here forever. Our hand is going to be there for thousands of years. Io mi ricordo 40 che ha fatto questo bello.
Right. Oh, yeah. That's okay.
Che differenza.
You know, a lot of people go home after 8 hours of work, and they go home, they're disgusted, you know, because they didn't like what they're doing all day. Instead, when we go home, we satisfy, you know, we feel like we accomplished something. And the beauty of it, every day is something different. when you carve in any other building, well, you have to stay more with the architect. Certain thing goes in certain place and you can't escape from it, you see, because you have to stick to the style and things like that. But in a cathedral like this, you have so much freedom. Vince's father and this other fellow, Guarente, you know, they was a lot of imagination. See, he carved, the carver cutting the stone, making out like he was in a scaffold up in the building, and he was looking down at the girl, and right next to the other little gargoyle, he carved the dean. And the dean saw the carver looking at the girl, and he's all surprised, you know, oh my God, you know. If we had the freedom, that's what we used to do, put something in there, you know, to make it interesting. All things like that, it's all around the cathedral, you see. Well, like this one here, see, he carved this. I didn't know what he was carving. He told me not to come up in the scaffold for about 2 or 3 weeks. And when he was ready, he called me to come up, and I see this. And I knew right away what he meant by it, because described me as the devil, because, you know, sometimes when things didn't go right, I used to get hot. So he put 2 horns, a tail there, a devil tail, and then he put the tools in one pocket, the stiletto and the gun in the other side. That's, you know, Italian. And aside here, and next to my heart, he put a set of clubs, because I love to play golf. So I knew that he carved that, you know, it's a joke to me, but I love it, because it really, you know, put something real nice up there. You know?
And as Roger said, for joke, we try to immortalize ourselves, make a caricature of one each other, you know. As a matter of fact, is on the west front is a grotesque of me, you know, with tools in my hands and my big mustache and big mouth open, because I used to yell too sometimes. So,
And sing.
And sing. Yeah, one time Roger went to my father and says, Paul, he says, you know, he says, good things Vince, he don't carve the way he sings.
When you go around and you look at all the work you did, see, you don't realize, because when you're up in the scaffold, you swing your hammer, whatever it is, and only a little chip comes off the stone. But after years, you know, you marvel how the little chip at the time. You cut so much stone and so much, you did so much in your life, and it's unbelievable. You say, my God, look what happened. You said, look at the tower, look all the angel, look all the temple of it. And one day you come around and you say, did I do that? And then you don't have no answer, see? But the only thing I believe, that we have, the carver has something in top of anybody. Because when we're all like me, and then you look back and you see what you did, and I say, well, that was my life.